Man, only an hour left, and we're back on Earth, Micah. What's the first thing you're going to do?
You know what I've been missing?
What?
I've been missing fresh corn for some corn fritters. I'm just going to make some corn fritters, dude.
Dude, I'll join you. Fry up some sausages. Sizzle up some sausages.
Have a little sausage sizzle.
Man, we can have a feast all to our... What the heck is that? That can't be good, right?
What does the flashing yellow light mean?
The yellow light.
Whoa, wait. Chase, what's that out the window?
There's nothing there. That window. That's not good. Is the space-time supposed to distort like that before our eyes?
Jaysha, I don't feel so good.
The controls, they're locked up. I think it's pulling the ship in. Where is this going to take us?
I've got the handbrake, dude. Steer the wheel.
Okay, all right. Whoa! Where are we?
Oh, the solid ground feels so good. This rocky, slightly muddy ground.
Yeah, this does not look like New Zealand. This doesn't look like anywhere I've been before. Wait, what's that sound? Micah, do you know what that is? That's the Majin monster. Do you hear that? Micah, we're in feudal Japan. There must have been some sort of distortion in space-time that sent us back thousands and thousands of years to another location, feudal Japan. We've gone from space to feudal Japan.
Do they have corn here?
Let's find out. We need to get out of here right now. Hey everyone, welcome back to Podzilla. I'm Jaysha, and I'm here with my brother Micah.
Hey, that is me.
And we're currently on our hands and knees praying to Daimajin.
I'm holding a kid up on my back and I'm praying with one hand.
One hand. Today we're talking about Daimajin, guys. This is a show where we talk about kaiju movies. We've done all of Godzilla. We've done all of Gamera. We've done all of King Kong on our Patreon. I keep forgetting we've done that.
Yeah.
But we're starting a new journey today through the Daimajin movies.
And Daimajin is done by Daiei, the company that originally started with Gamera.
Yeah.
And there are only, 3 movies with Daimajin in?
Three
Maybe
movies.
A couple other cameos.
Yeah, but 3 main movies. They all came out in 1966, the same year. But there was a different director for every one of these Daimajin movies, even though majority of the crew was the same. Very interesting. For 1 year, 3 movies, different filmmakers behind them.
You know what they say? If you can't get it right the first try, try 2 more times.
In quick succession. I'm really looking forward to this, though. I mean, we'll go into it soon, but it's very, very different to, I think, anything we've covered on the show.
I think it's also refreshing having a much, much shorter series.
You reckon?
Rather than committing to, a 20-movie long history.
Yeah. And it's also really cool because I know a lot of people haven't seen Daimajin, and it's only really gained a whole lot of popularity recently as it's had better home video releases, Blu-ray releases through Arrow Video. But I think they're on Tubi for streaming, so they're a lot more accessible. Tubi Nation, rise up. Tubi Army. You use Tubi, Micah?
I don't use Tubi, Jaysha.
You need to get onto it.
I feel like from an outsider coming into the world of Daimajin, it feels like Daimajin seems like a real big cornerstone of the kaiju kind of world.
The pantheon?
The pantheon of kaiju.
The Mount Rushmore? You think Daimajin is there? Just
Godzilla,
on the side.
Gamera, King Kong. I don't know what the closest would be. I don't think it's...
Ultraman's up there.
It's Ultraman. Daimajin is the stone guardian standing watch over the mountain.
Yeah, he's kind of one of the little ones. Kamen Rider's probably there with him.
Daimajin Godzilla.
Daimajin.
No, but I feel like, I don't know, most kaiju fans or most monster movie fans I'm going to come into this pretty unaware of what Daimajin is.
Yeah. And I was looking forward to it too, because just like you're saying, it's a little bit of fresh air after Gamera. I mean, we talked about it, but a lot of those movies got very samey very quickly.
Yeah.
And I hated Gamera's Raw by the end of it. I might grow to love it again. I might grow to love it again.
That was terrible. I'm so sorry I did that.
I don't hate that because it didn't sound like Gamera's Raw.
Jay should like some Micah's weird screech more than Gamera.
Confirmed, yeah. But yeah, I don't know. Should we get straight into Daimajin? Let's just talk about it. I'm really excited.
Let's jump into it. I've got a little synopsis here.
Okay.
Arakatsuma, the great demon, the spirit imprisoned within a mountain near a remote village in the province of Tanba, is beginning to wake up and break free. As the villagers pray at a shrine and beg him to stay his hand of wrath, the malevolent Lord Odate takes the opportunity to murder the family of the local leader, Lord Hanabusa. This leaves only his son Tadafumi and daughter Kazasa alive, who are saved and taken under the wing of a samurai named Kogenta. As the children grow up, Lord Odate's power expands in the region. To assert full control over the people, he decides to enact a final show of force and destroy the half-buried statue of the great demon. But this only brings to pass what was first set into motion decades prior, as the stone giant Arakatsuma wakes up.
Man. Daimajin? How about Daimajin waking up 10 minutes left in the movie, Micah?
I think you mean Arakatsuma.
Is that his name?
Yes. Yeah, he is Arakatsuma, the Daimajin, the great demon.
What I've found out after watching this is that I think all three of these movies are quite similar, as in a town is in peril, a village is in peril, and at the last moment, a Daimajin appears, and I think it's a different Daimajin every movie.
So we're getting away from Gamera.
Yeah.
Where it became very, very samey. And going into Daimajin, which sounds like the exact same movie three times over.
It's a different Daimajin. It's a different Daimajin.
We didn't have different Gameras every movie.
No. But I don't know if he can be on our Mount Rushmore then, because we need 3 different Daimajin on our Mount Rushmore.
Maybe we get a Mount Rushmore of just Daimajin.
Yeah.
We get the 3, and then we get the one from the show, which we're inevitably going to cover.
Which we'll get to. I guess first things first, I really wasn't expecting the film to be like it was.
I think I went in with the expectation of it being like another very mystical 3 treasures type of movie, very, I don't know, epic fantasy.
You love your 3 treasures, man.
Looking back on it, it's
another
so
episode where Micah references 3 treasures, listeners. Mark it off your bingo
card. What did you go with the expectation of?
Yeah, I thought it'd be something along the same, but I did expect a lot more Daimajin throughout it.
It is very funny how he pops up in the last 10 minutes.
Yeah. But I really liked what we got, to be honest. I was really vibing with the majority of the movie, which is just about this small village overcome by this evil lord, and then the prince and princess who survived trying to get back there and kind of free their village, who are now slaves. It was quite an epic tale. It reminded me a lot of Akira Kurosawa's stuff, like Seven Samurai, Throne of Blood.
I was going to say Seven Samurai. It felt very similar to that.
Yeah. And right at the top of the film was probably my favorite moment in the whole movie. Even get the Daimajin stuff out of here. I just loved this battle at the start when Lord Odate attacks the village and his whole plot comes into fruition. It looks so impressive. Like I'm blown away that Dai actually made it look as good as they did coming off of Gamera.
Yeah, even right from the outset of it, I was very impressed by the scene and locations and all the prop designs around the place, all the buildings, even all the costuming. It felt like feudal Japan.
And the village is on fire. The villagers are fighting through ash and like flames that are actually flickering around them. Like it looks real. It's just so impressive, the sets and the scale of it all. It really, really made you believe you were in this little town in feudal Japan.
Did you believe you were there?
I believed I was in feudal Japan, Micah. I did. And even just some real creative filmmaking, like the arrows heading into the wooden buildings, how like one frame they're not there, next they are. It looked really, really great. And I love Odate as the villain throughout this.
He's great.
He was a
isn't
standout. He has the most maniacal laugh.
he has the most maniacal haircut. Can we talk about the haircut of like 50% of the guys in this movie?
Feudal Japan with bald heads and top knots and all the women with the smallest eyebrows you've ever seen. You could rock a haircut like that, Micah.
I've been thinking about it, man.
You could. We need to bring those back. Why don't we?
Do you think there's still an actual hairstyle in Japan?
I don't know.
You know what I found really surprising is, Daimajin doesn't really come into the story until the last 10, 15 minutes. He is somewhat present throughout the film as this, like, you could call him a mystical character, even in the background. A lot of the characters go to this shrine quite often to pay their respects to him, to pray to him to stay his hand against destroying the village.
Well, that's the whole start of the movie, is they don't even know it's getting attacked by Lord Odate and his men. They think it's Daimajin attacking their village, right? And they're praying to him to like stop it from happening.
But it doesn't even, like, if you cut out the last 10 minutes, it could still be a very, very grounded story up until the point where Daimajin comes alive and grows up.
Yeah, well, it would have been pretty cool just to have him there as that statue that you feel the effects of, but you never really see.
I could definitely see this movie as like a secondary version where there is this giant destructive demon that never ends up awaking, but you still believe he's a demon the entire time. But this is also very fun how it goes about portraying this lead kaiju.
Yeah, I liked it as well because even from the outset, they're scared that Daimajin is coming. And they're terrified and running for their lives, but they're still trying to honor and pray to him. And they're still calling him their guardian while they're calling him like their destroyer. And it's such an interesting like god or deity for them to worship in this, because he doesn't do anything. He sits there.
He stays his hand.
They don't feel him in any way. He just stays his hand. He's just there, and they're worshiping him out of complete fear that he's just going to like wake up and slam them into oblivion.
Yeah, he's a god of justice, that they deserve destruction, but he is so powerful in that they just want him to stay away as much as possible. But he does have that power.
Get ready, because if you make one wrong move, you don't know what's going to happen to you. What do you think of his priestess? Was it Priestess Shinobu?
Is she the black teeth lady?
But yeah, she had big black teeth. Terrifying.
I'm going to be honest, that's the only thing I remember about her. I see those black teeth in my dreams.
I liked her. She had a few great moments against Lord Odate, the evil Lord Odate. I think the first time, is it to her or is it to Kogenta when he's holding up a gun and he like fires it, but it's not loaded?
Yeah.
And then later on, he actually kills the priestess. But he's slashing her multiple times with a sword, and she is just there warning them that if they keep on the path they're going, Daimajin's going to kill them. And like she just stands there. Yeah. Even the final blow, she's literally like standing upright for seconds and seconds.
It takes like 10 seconds for her to fall down, it feels like.
Legend. If she didn't have the black teeth, she'd be my number one, you know?
Do we know why she had black teeth?
I don't know. It's feudal Japan, Mike. Did they have toothpaste?
Anything goes. Yeah, guns.
Yeah, guns.
Guns. I was not expecting guns.
A lot of guns. Half the army guns, half the army arrows.
I think guns were probably around at this point. But it's just so jarring to, I don't know, see this land and this community where they still fight with spears and swords alongside guns.
It feels very ancient by the way they're like worshipping the statue, by the way they're going about their lives. Very traditional lifestyle, but then you're seeing like the modern world seep into it a little bit. It was interesting. What do you think of the young purple prince, Tadafumi? His parted hair? It's the main drive for the movie is everyone dies in this village, but the lead samurai of the village, Kogenta, what a guy. What a dude. Oh. The lead samurai, he manages to save the young prince and the young princess. I think it was Princess Kozasa
Yep.
and Prince Tarafumi, and with the help of Priestess Shinobu, the four of them managed to hide out for 10 years in Daimajin's little cave while the rest of their village is either killed or put into slavery.
I love it.
What do you think? They seem pretty onto it, right? 10 years go past. Kozasa's like singing beautifully by a waterfall.
Yeah.
Tarafumi's like fully trained up to be his own kind of samurai. Do you think if you were cut off from society, living in a cave with a crazy old black-toothed priestess and an admittedly real cool samurai dude, Kogenta, legend, do you think you'd be sane in 10 years? Do you think you'd be ready to go and reclaim your village and free the slaves?
Depends how cool the samurai was.
I think you'd have no social skills. You'd know nothing about the real world.
As a legit question, I think if both of those people were like, if they had their heads screwed on correctly, I think you'd be pretty fine.
You're a big fan of homeschooling.
In this case, sure, yeah. But I could, if you got the short stick and like you just were taken under the wing of the worst samurai with no social skills and this just genuinely creepy priestess, there's no way you'd be adjusting to the normal world.
I just can't get over like young Prince Tadafumi getting ready to like reclaim his people. I'm like, dude, you know nothing of the pain they've gone through, bro.
Who are your people? Do you know?
You've been worshipping this statue who's done nothing for the last 10 years. Yeah, it's pretty funny. I was waiting for it the whole movie because I think some of the villagers during that first attack are like, if we survive, we're going to take back this castle in 10 years. And I was waiting.
Like set a date.
I was waiting for the epic like reclamation of the village in 10 years. And I think that's my big letdown from this film is you never really get it. You never really get the prince and the princess like going in undercover and rallying the troops from the village and saving people, then all of them standing up against the evil lord. They never really do it.
Yeah, because at the end, they kind of get Daimajin to
just
fray,
yeah.
and he just destroys everything. I can't remember who it was. It might have been someone in our Discord, but they were saying like, how crazy would this movie be if the town took the problem of Lord Odate into their own hands in the final moments and just completely reclaimed the village?
I think it was Connor on Letterboxd. He said that it was a solid film with a genuinely interesting human plot, which is then topped with excellent kaiju action, but he would love to see a version of Daimajin where the humans solve their own problems, which is, I agree with. Like it felt really Prince of Egypt for me, like the lost prince coming back to reclaim his people. But he never really did anything. He got crucified. He got strung up by them. And then he was just helpless.
I was really waiting for a Helm's Deep moment where like things are looking real grim. And then you look over the mountain and, who's that coming on the hills?
Gandalf, but it's Daimajin.
Gandalf, but it's, I don't know.
Kogenta. Yeah, Kogenta as well.
Leading the people.
I love this dude. There's that one moment when he's going undercover, like hunting quail. He's got his big old hat on.
I love this guy.
He's like, he gets had up by some of the guards of Lord Odate, and they're like, Flip, what are you doing here? We're going to take this quail. You could be on your way. And you think he's getting out of it, but then he runs right into Lord Odate.
I was vouching for this guy. He had his head down and he still saw through the disguise.
He manages to slash a few people with his dagger before he gets taken out. But I could have gone for some more Kogenta action.
You wanted to see Kogenta Wick.
Yeah, I did. Man, imagine that movie. But instead he just gets tortured and, again, crucified. All these guys getting strung up on their crosses. Pretty rough.
I do like the plot point of him just like hanging from ropes for half the movie.
Yeah, another thing, Mike, I wanted to ask you. Can you put on your nurse hat for me?
Yeah.
You see it a lot, right? That people get hung upside down as a method of torture.
As a pediatric nurse, I can safely say that I've never seen someone
or your kids just hanging themselves upside down, you know? Would it really be effective is what I think, because you see he's there for hours hanging upside down in this movie. But I feel like the blood will rush to your head and then you just go unconscious.
I don't know, man.
Do you keep conscious? I put my head down for like 5 minutes and I'm gone.
Do you genuinely think this is like the questions that they teach us in nursing lectures?
You are a nurse.
It's like, now, whoever of you wants to know this, if you do, end up in a situation where you're hanging upside
Why
down
don't
by some
they
ropes.
teach you this? What are they teaching you?
I don't know. I feel like the person who could really answer this is Fred, the ascot-wearing man from Scooby-Doo, Mystery Incorporated.
Yeah, he's big into his traps. He'd know.
He'd know.
He'd know.
I don't know, man. This gave me a really fun pitch for a movie idea, though, where imagine a whole movie that is just this one dude is kidnapped and hung up in like the middle of a town square, and the whole movie is just this group of people, or even just this one person, the entire movie trying to like raid a fortress to save him.
It's pretty good.
Get like what's that Christmas movie that people don't say is a Christmas movie?
Die Hard.
Yeah, get like a Die Hard, but saving
Ocean's 11.
I guess that's what. I haven't seen Die Hard. What am I talking
Ocean's
about?
11, Micah.
Give me Ocean's 11, but the prize is saving a life.
Yeah, I love it. I did really love all this feudal Japan stuff. It was really, really cool, and I think it was very effective. I just wanted a bit more. Again, it really reminded me of like Prince of Egypt, when you've got, the story Moses comes back to reclaim his people. He's got God behind him. He's coming back. They've got Daimajin behind them. But it never really was that epic. They felt very disconnected from Daimajin, because what happens at the end is Kogenta and the prince they're just victims of the Lord Odate. Princess Shinobu gets killed by Lord Odate, and then it's all up to the princess Kozasa, and she's like just threatening to sacrifice herself. It's her last ditch effort. She's like, I'm just gonna die. Please, Daimajin, do something.
It's not even like that's the second time in the movie she does that. There's that one scene where she's trying to throw herself off the waterfall.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a real interesting way to end the movie. And I think you're bang on that, like, this is such an interesting location and time period, and such a unique setting for a movie like this, because we've gone through however many Kong, Godzilla, Gamera movies now. Most of those movies are set post 1950. It's very rare that you actually have a kaiju movie set in a previous historical era. So having, regardless of what the kaiju is, if it's Daimajin or someone else, like, it's just super fun to see how you write a story and write people that react to this huge, colossal force.
Yeah. And again, I just love the spiritual aspect of Daimajin. I think it's so cool that he is just this destructive god of sorts, or demon of sorts, that they know they should be containing, but they also know that they should try to appease, or else they're just scared of him throughout everything they do. And I really felt that through the movie. I really liked that kind of vibe.
How'd you like his eyes?
Oh, the eye at the start when it's like a human eye waking up.
Yeah. But also the eyes of Daimajin, the great demon.
Yeah.
At the end.
Man,
That actor with his angry eyebrows.
Yeah.
I aspire to have eyebrows as expressive as this guy.
It was a baseball player, Chikara Hashimoto, who those were his real eyes behind the Daimajin mask, and he was making an effort not to blink at all, even between takes. He just wanted to see how long he could go without blinking. So it's why his eyes are so red a lot of the times throughout the film, which was pretty effective in the end. 6-year-old
Micah would have killed in this role. I feel like every kid has had that idea. How long can I go without blinking?
Yeah.
How long can I stare at the sun without closing my eyes for?
Please tell me you didn't do that.
Is that not a thing that kids do?
Please tell me you didn't do that. No, you can't see at all.
I'm actually blind. As a kid, I would stare straight into the sun for minutes.
And then it was just so cool that you could see, like, it's faded into your vision afterwards. Just the coolest thing. You could close your eyes and still see the sun.
I'm not blind. How am I not blind? Don't do that. I do not endorse looking into the sun.
Nurse Micah endorses every kid looks into the sun. I just found it so funny that, Daimajin's people, right? He's the guardian, even though he's also the demon or whatever. Daimajin's village put into slavery. People are dying. There's that one moment where, like, a little kid's begging his dad to come home because his mother's dying.
Yeah.
And then the dad isn't allowed to leave. And then the kid comes back later and he's just like, Dad, she's dead. Yeah. She died. And
that's a sad scene to see the kid just Man, that actor was so heartfelt.
He was. I can't believe this dad just out for days not being allowed to go home. There's a moment as well when they're pulling these big, like, they're pulling stones around. Again, what is Lord Odate doing with these stones? Who knows? But someone falls down and nearly just gets crushed to death by this huge stone rolling over top of them. Like, this is how their people are living. The people are getting crucified. And then Daimajin's just looking the other way. Daimajin does not care. What is this god
For 10
doing?
years, Daimajin does nothing.
Daimajin, he's this all-powerful and omnipotent god. He's clearly not looking over his people for 10 years. What is this guy up to? And then he all of a sudden, okay, 10 years later, this princess is going to kill herself in front of me. I better get up and do something now.
You could say that he was like protecting Lord Odate's reign.
He probably was.
And then as soon as the good guys came into rescue, that's when he stepped on them.
That's actually, yeah, there you go. But yeah, let's talk about Daimajin, because it's a really cool segment of the movie, the big finale, when Daimajin is getting destroyed. The statue of Daimajin is getting destroyed by Lord Odate.
I love when they just skewer his forehead with that
big
giant nail, and everybody is so frightened and scared to death when the red blood starts pouring out of it.
Yeah.
That's like the turning point for the whole film, where these people start understanding and Lord Odate's people start becoming more afraid.
What a cool visual. Just the red seeping out. And then straight afterwards, I feel like the ground's breaking into, people are getting swallowed up. People are like going flying. Hands are reaching out from piles of rocks.
Good effects.
Yeah.
Good groundbreaking effects.
Groundbreaking visual effects in Daimajin. Honestly, though, I thought it was breathtaking how they pulled this off. And I was like, Dai, where was this in the 70s, Dai? You know? This is literally like top tier kind of kaiju filmmaking, or just practical effects in general for the time.
Because this is 66.
66.
Which was not too far after we see, like, I don't know, the OG Dai stuff that we've seen, Gamera, this isn't too long after that.
I think Gamera came out in the 60s, right?
Yeah. And this seems to have much more well done destruction effects than most of those movies do.
Yeah, it was just really cool. And then Daimajin himself, the nail becomes part of his outfit. He's got a nail sticking out of his forehead. What do you think of him, though? Because he is kind of the samurai-looking statue. I was doing some reading, and he was based on Japanese, I think it's Nyo statues, who are like they're muscular guardians of Buddha, like they're his henchmen. They're his muscular henchmen that guard him. But they also looked across different cultures, different religions all around the world to kind of draw different aspects from other idols. Apparently they wanted to give him a cleft in his chin so he'd look distinctive, like Kirk Douglas.
Awesome.
But he is like...
I love that Japan looked at Kirk Douglas.
Kirk
Like, that's the one we want.
The most distinctive person. Yeah, they still managed to make him look quite original in his own right with the green face.
I like how he's not just a stone man with stone armor.
Yeah.
But he becomes this blue demon wearing actual armor. Like he's almost broken out of his stone form.
Yeah.
He becomes his own character, which is real great.
And the eyes just do so much for him.
Oh, right.
He's a statue. He's not showing emotion, but through those eyes, just how much they linger on things or look the other way. It shows a lot about his motive or his thought process.
I think, yeah. Well, you look across like so many of the more humanoid kaiju we've seen in the past. Most of them tend to be people like, I don't know,
Jet Jaguar,
Ultraman.
Yeah.
You can even throw like Kamen Rider in there. But most of those people, and you even look back to shows like Zone Fighter or Godman, every character, even the humanoid ones, just have masks.
Yeah.
And the way that they visualize looking around is by turning their whole head.
Yes.
So having a character who can just easily move his eyes to show his change in focus, you take it so for granted.
And just like the statuesque nature to him, the robotic nature almost, when he turns and sees people in a tower, then he lifts his arm above his head, and then it's like a second goes by before he actually brings it down.
He feels weighty.
Super weighty.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because he isn't that big. Like, he isn't the size of Godzilla. He isn't the size of most usual kaiju that we've covered on the show before. He is just kind of a little bit bigger than a building.
Yeah.
Which
makes sense for how big the statue would have been.
Yeah, but it was pretty impressive that they were able to pull that off, because I feel like it's easier to film or add in scenes of a monster that's so huge that you don't see the humans. Whereas in this, you can always visually see the humans alongside Daimajin. Sometimes it's a little puppet that Daimajin's holding. But it's just, again, they really managed to pull it off with their use of blue screen and things like that. Compositing was really good in this.
I always love it when the big monster or the big human can look specifically at an individual, when you can tell that they're looking at one person, and he's small enough to be able to do that.
Yeah. How about the scene as well? He takes the nail out of his head and he stabs it through Lord Odate to end the movie.
Big nail.
Huge nail.
I'd hate to be Lord Odate.
Micah, with your nursing hat on, would you survive something like that? If it misses your heart, misses a lung, what's the chance?
There's not a lot left for it to miss. Depending on how big. If you don't pull it out straight away, maybe.
Okay, maybe.
Get the world's best doctors in there.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. The whole last 10 minutes of this are really exceptional. Visually as well, when the red and black clouds roll in behind Daimajin, how he's yanking like the chains they put around him and just ripping the buildings apart.
Yo, he's yanking the chains.
He's yanking on those chains. I loved as well that the nerd in me, the special effects nerd, just loved whenever they would switch to the life-size Daimajin hand when it's following Lord Odate around the room. Yeah. And he's genuinely terrifying. He feels like a force of nature. And I love how he's not just killing the bad guys. He's literally stomping on every single person around him until the princess pleads with him again, and they manage to disintegrate him and send his soul off at the end of the film.
Yeah. With the ball of light flying out of the Daimajin.
I wonder if that will go into these other statues at other cultures. Maybe that's how they continue on.
I mean, I'm not even sure if they're in the same continuity.
Yeah. Who knows?
Guess we'll find out.
Yeah. Super impressive. But I think the Daimajin stuff was just as impressive as the feudal Japan main story. I think both parts went really well together in this. Should I get into some trivia though, Micah?
Yeah, hit me with your best shot.
I think I've mentioned most of it. But there is a Godzilla character, Micah. Godzilla, you know the guy?
I'm familiar.
There's a Godzilla character called Gekido Jin. You familiar?
Is he from one of the manga?
Gekido Jin from Godzilla Color Special, a comic. And Gekido Jin was specifically inspired by Daimajin. Gekido Jin is a living stone samurai monster that fights alongside Godzilla in the Godzilla Color Special. And guess what? Gekido Jin in the Godzilla Color Special, he's sealed away with the help of a man named Kogenta.
Hey.
Do you believe it?
I believe it. I've got a photo up right now. He looks like a samurai Shrek. Looks like a big ogre. But I like it.
Yeah, there we go. Godzilla taking inspiration from Daimajin. Did you think you'd see the day?
I never thought I'd see the day.
I was doing a bit of research into a real specific shot in the film. There's that part of the end when Daimajin does turn into dust and that light or energy within him flies off.
Yeah.
The effect looks so cool, and how they did it was they actually cast a Daimajin model.
I thought you were going to say cast a spell.
They actually cast a spell. They got someone in to cast a spell to create Daimajin. No, they cast a model of Daimajin made completely out of soil.
Ooh, that's fun.
So it's a soil Daimajin that they actually had disintegrate from that point. So it's
that's nice.
It's pretty ingenious. They actually got his specific shape to then crumble away. And they did a whole lot of real creative, kind of groundbreaking special effects work at the time. I mentioned compositing, but Daiei, specifically for this film, Daimajin, purchased a 50.6 square meter blue screen and lighting setup that they had shipped over from the United States. It was state of the art. No one else really had something like this, just this huge blue screen. And that's how they filmed a lot of the Daimajin scenes and got them into the shots alongside people.
That's great because you think about it, you'd have to have so many shots of the village with a giant blue screen behind it.
Yeah. And honestly, there wasn't a part in this that I really could pick up on the compositing. Like, I remember with the Gamera films, every other scene, I was like, oh, here we go again.
No, it felt very natural for this one,
yeah,
didn't it?
Really, really well done. And yeah, the only other bit I have here is something that we'll continue to see as we go through the series, but this film sets up several real specific conventions that every single film in the trilogy follow. Daimajin is always unleashed by people who are trying to solve some feudal issue. Mm-hmm. So we're going to see a lot more slavery, a lot more feuds in feudal Japan. Daimajin always ends up toppling over the oppressive leader. So sorry, spoilers. Daimajin's always going to win, Micah.
Oh man, I was looking forward to seeing the good versus evil nature of these movies.
You're looking forward to the oppressive leader winning?
Yeah. Well, the possibility at least.
Daimajin always doesn't appear until the end of the film. So I'm just setting you up now, so you're not disappointed.
Yeah.
And Daimajin's alignment is always neutral. He just always attacks anything that hinders him.
Lawful neutral.
He's lawful neutral. Yeah. I think so. Does he follow a code?
Lawful evil?
Maybe lawful evil.
Maybe lawful evil. I don't know if he's neutral.
He's kind of chaotic.
Chaotic good? Something to ponder on.
Let us know. Let us know what alignment you think Daimajin is. But yeah, that's all I have for trivia. Did you want to take it away with some final thoughts and a rating, Micah?
Yeah. I'm going to be straight up here, Jasha. I was not as impressed with Daimajin as I thought I was going to be. It's so funny, this Japanese trend of promoting monster movies where the monster doesn't come until the last 10 minutes of the movie. Imagine if Godzilla -1 came out and Godzilla doesn't show up in the film till the last 10 minutes.
I still would have enjoyed Godzilla -1 because the story's good. Shigashima's really, really engaging.
I think so too. I think the thing with this one though is it might have been expectations, but I don't actually feel like a lot happened in the feudal village with the characters that we were given. I was really impressed by the acting of all the characters. I think all of them were top notch.
Top knots?
I think all of them had top knots. I don't know. Something just didn't quite do it for me here. And the fact that the next two subsequent Daimajin films are very much of the same grain as this one, it makes me a little bit nervous as to whether I'm actually going to really enjoy them or not.
Really? Even with these tempered expectations now? I just don't think it's your thing?
Maybe with tempered expectations. Maybe if they keep having some quite good actors and characters that come out of the stories.
It'll ride on the human characters, right?
Yeah, well, like you mentioned, I think I was waiting for that big moment as well where the village was going to overthrow the reign of Lord Odate. But the fact that it didn't end up that way, it kind of just made all of the human character-focused stuff fall flat for me in the end. Yeah, I'm not too sure. That being said, Jasha, I think I'm going to become a barber.
Are you?
Yeah. And I think that the first thing I'm going to do as a barber is, on my first day of business, I'm going to do 2 top knots.
Whoa! Out of 5. You're giving Daimajin a 2 out of 5.
Yeah.
Wow.
I am.
That's crazy. Wow. What are you calling this barbershop? Top notch. Top knots?
Oh, top notch.
Top knots.
Top notch. Oh, say that 5 times fast. Top notch, top knots.
I'm just going through a few more of my notes here. I really love the filmmaking style of this. They did things I really wasn't expecting. When they first go into Daimajin's temple, it switches to like a first-person, like handy-cam kind of style filmmaking as it's following Princess Shinobu through it. I just didn't expect it. And there was another time when it switched to a different kind of camera and did more creative things when the kid is running through the forest and he is grabbed by a skeleton, like a skeletal hand. And then he's terrified and he brushes it off and runs away. And then you see they like cut back to it or pan back to it and it's just a tree branch. And he sees that scary tree man that they were dressed up as at the start of the film when they were trying to do their rituals to Daimajin, but then it ends up just being a tree trunk. And I really like how they got creative with the bits like that. And even just doing things they didn't have to do. At the start, there were little hand-drawn animated wolves howling in the movie, and it was just, they were using a whole lot of different techniques for this film, and I really think everything worked together in just the best way. And Akira Ifukube, we haven't mentioned it, but the score for this was great.
We love this guy's music.
Akira Ifukube did majority of the Showa era Godzilla scores, did the infamous Godzilla theme that we all know and love. I really loved it. He brings a real depth and a real urgency to the film when that score kicks in. I will say it does sound like his Godzilla stuff. Like he definitely has a feel to him. It is a bit samey compared to his Godzilla stuff. There were some scores and I was like, oh, I've heard that before in this Godzilla movie. But I really appreciated it. It works really well for this kind of film. All in all, I had a blast with this. I really enjoyed this. I think the feudal conflict and the feudal setting just made it for me. And I fell head over heels for Kogenta. I loved the priestess. I loved Lord Odate. That laugh was insane. And then even though I was fully committed and fully into this feudal story, the last 10 seconds, again, just kind of mind-blowing in the effects they were able to do and the terror that comes when Daimajin steps into the village. I do wish that we did get to see the humans have some part to play in it rather than the princess just offering to kill herself being the tide of the battle. I did want to see these men who were like, okay, 10 years we're gonna overthrow the Lord. I wanted to see them try and overthrow the Lord. But Daimajin crucifying Lord Odate with a nail through his heart.
It's pretty cool.
They probably couldn't have done anything that cool if the villagers were rising up. I'm probably, if I was opening a competing barbershop.
Yeah, what would you name it first off?
I gave you your name. Mine is...
Straight off the dome.
Straight off the dome.
Is that what people say?
Yeah.
And they say something real smart.
Can we swap names? Am I straight off the dome?
Straight off the
set
dome
now. Well, I'll probably give this 4 out of 5.
Oh man,
4 haircuts out of a possible 5. Yeah, I really enjoyed this. I just wish there was a bit more to it, but visually, tonally, this was completely my thing, and I loved the finale. Loved it.
That's cool to hear, man. Dude, I have some listener messages right here.
Do you?
Yeah.
Flip, read them to me.
We have Grugrux Dave.
Grugrux.
Classic.
Oh, what a guy. Can we just talk about Grugrux Dave for a second? Mod in our Discord. Absolute legend. Welcoming people whenever they jump in. Jump into our Discord. Link in the show notes.
If you want to be welcomed by Grugrux, jump into our Discord. He had a letterbox review and he said, the first half is a lot of lore, and considering it's about to start a trilogy, it's understandable. Well, the lore is, the peasant woes are not. But when that back half kicks in and our big man goes sour face, all bets are off. While the camp goes off the chain in Godzilla land, we get a nice old Japan setting and the human drama that might be missing elsewhere. Don't mess with massive statue-worshipping, kami-fearing people. It will come back to bite your whole village in the ass. 3.5 out of 5. Godzilla land, he's making a reference to Godzilla versus Gigan. If you didn't get that.
He's making a reference to Godzilla being campy as anything. There was no camp in this, unless if haircuts are camp. We have another email here from Spencer. And Spencer said, so I had no expectations going into Daimajin. All I knew was that it was spun off a rejected script for Gamera 2 Baragon's Bubble Bath. but after watching it with the P fans in the Discord, I was actually really surprised. Daimajin is good, y'all. It's not a kaiju movie as we usually think of, but it's a really neat historical drama with some cool characters and memorable performances. But man, once Daimajin breaks free from his mountain, the rest of the movie is pure tokusatsu gold. The suit actor and the effects team really sell the feeling of a vengeful god coming to wreak personal yet indiscriminate havoc. I give Daimajin a solid 4 out of 5 botched statue lobotomies.
They did botch it.
They really
Pretty
botched
bad.
it.
We also have Christian emailing into the show. He said, man and ignorance versus tradition and spiritualism. This movie was a drama, an operatic feudal fantasy filled with interesting characters and a narrative to boot, and betrayal and sabotage abound, and lastly, a kaiju film from the classic Daiei Company. The contrast between modernity, the rise of imperial power controlling the masses through forced labor and killings, and the fragile but powerful spirit world in the ancient world of Japanese culture and religion. This film has a lot to give for anyone interested in not a typical kaiju film. Overall, I do wish that the giant showed up earlier, but I do think that it was perfect as is and showed that the great powers that be make their vengeance known when the tension is highest. And was it worth it? I give this movie a 4 giant green statue faces out of 5.
With cleft chins.
Kirk Douglas looking statues.
Kirk Douglas-esque.
Jasha, how'd you like that? You like Daimajin?
I really like Daimajin. I do hope these next two manage to spice things up even a little bit. It'll be a shame for Daimajin to kind of stay at the level it is. I do hope that we get better. I know it might be a lot to ask, but I hope Daimajin reeks a little bit. Is it reeks?
Reeks.
He reeks more havoc.
He reeks of havoc.
I hope Daimajin starts reeking of havoc.
On one half, I'm kind of expecting the fact that they made these 3 movies in the space of 1 year, that it's not going to be very world-changing.
Yeah, but at the same time, like, no one really had expectations because the first one really hadn't been out by the time they filmed this. They did film them all in quick succession. Like, it feels like the same amount of thought was potentially put into all 3 of these with different directors doing their spin on it. It's very, very interesting.
So it could go either way.
Yeah.
We're pivoting on the knife's edge right now.
Get ready for our favorite Daimajin movie to be the last one or something like that.
Next episode, we're covering Return of Daimajin.
He returns?
Believe it or not.
Whoa.
Within the same year. And the synopsis for this is the tyrannical Lord Danjo Mikoshiba covets the rich, fertile lands surrounding Lake Yakumo. During a memorial ceremony for the late Chigusa Lord, Mikoshiba launches an attack, overthrowing the Honorable Lord Juro. When all seems lost, Daimajin rises from Lake Yakumo to settle a score of his own.
He's rising from the lake. Are you ready?
Statue under the lake?
Yeah, that's going to be cool. But yeah, another evil lord overthrowing another village, seaside this time.
Because what do we have here? During a ceremony, a lord that covets the land launches an attack, overthrowing an honorable lord.
The land in Daimajin, this movie we just talked about, it wasn't fertile.
That's the big change. We have fertile land now,
next
guys.
Lord's going for fertile land.
Hold on to your butts.
It's by the water, quaint seaside village. I can't wait.
I'm looking forward to it as well. Quick shout out to all of you listeners. Feel free to rate this podcast on whatever platform you're listening on. And if you want to join the community, like we've been talking about, jump into the show notes where we've got a link to our Discord. Be welcomed by Grugrux Dave.
I'm just to spite Grugrux, I'm going to welcome you, maybe.
I know. You're going to all be disappointed when me or Jasha says welcome. But tell us your thoughts about Daimajin and the entire Daimajin trilogy. We've also got Godzilla in Hell, the comic we're covering in our book club coming up this week.
Yeah, on our Patreon. So for $5 or less a month, you can subscribe to our Patreon. We've got an exclusive Godzilla in Hell comic episode that we're going to be doing. But I'll also just shout out, just because we haven't shouted out enough already, Spotify's introduced a new feature where for every episode, if you're listening to us on Spotify, you can kind of say what you thought about the episode. It's just like a text field. And I've seen a lot of our listeners have been using that to just rate the film that we're covering. So for example, like we're doing Daimajin today. If you guys felt up to it, go tell us how many haircuts you'd give Daimajin. Why don't we make that just a cool little spot where we can all just rate the movies week on week. But yeah, there's heaps of ways to engage with us. We'd really love to welcome you guys into the Podzilla community. And be sure to watch Return of Daimajin. To Be Nation, rise up for Return of Daimajin next week.
Until then, rock on.
Micah, that was bad.
Jace, that was great.
Rock on. What?
Rock on. Stay stony. Stay stoned, everyone.
Nurse Micah wants everyone to stay stoned. All you kids out there, stay stoned.